Yonta pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayata kila shakti dhara swadhamna anyam shahasta charana shravana pragadim pranam namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam katanchana smrite yasmin duskaram sukaram bhavet vismate viparitam syat shri chaitanya namah. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our weekly Srimad Bhagavatam class. By Krishna's mercy, we are having this class regularly. Today is the 86th session we are having, and we are in the 9th chapter of the first canto. And we are now reading a very important section. Today we will conclude this section, verse number 29, 30, and 31. So this is a chapter where we see how to receive death, art of dying, art of living. Last time we were talking is about how to live in this world, but how to leave the world is equally important. And how we learn how to leave this world is taught by none other than Bhishma. So in this chapter, Bhishma, he teaches us how to welcome guests according to time, place, and circumstances. And then, despite being on the bed of arrows, he is able to welcome all the great souls who come from all over the universe. And he speaks very affectionately to them, and he pacifies and encourages Pandavas, especially Yudhishthira Maharaj. Although he himself is in great pain, but he is not feeling any pain. He is on a bed of arrows, but he is giving consolation and affection to Pandavas. It's like, somebody has been hit by a truck and is lying on the ground, major accident, body is all broken. And then you go to see him and you have some you have some running nose, and he's inquiring about your cold and what medicines you are taking. It is something like that. So Bhishma is pacifying Pandavas. And then begins this most beautiful section where he starts glorifying Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he instructs Yudhishthira Maharaj, 25 to 28, on the various aspects of dharma. What is dharma? How to live in this world. And now we are reading these three verses, 29, 30, and 31, which describe his final moments. And last time we spoke on 29 and 30. Today we'll speak on 31. And this will complete Bhishma's consciousness, Bhishma's final moments. And then we will directly jump into, from 32 onwards, to Bhishma's prayers as he is dying, what he's praying. Each prayer is beautiful and reveals Krishna's amazing qualities that we will take up later. But first, we'll complete this section, 29, 30, and 31. So we'll chant today also all the three verses, and then we'll focus on 31st verse. Who will read the translations today? Last time who read? You read last time. So today, Mataji, you can read loudly. So verse number 29. Wait, all of you can, you have access to the verse, right? Yes. Dharmam pravadatastasya sakala pratyupastitah yo yoginas chanda mrityo vanchitas tuttarayana.
While Bhishmadev was describing occupational duties, the sun's course ran into the northern hemisphere. This period is desired by mystics who die at their will.
Verse number 30. Tadopasmritya gira sahasrane vimukta sangam mana adi purushe Krishne lasatpitapate chaturvuje purastite militadrigvadaraya.
Thereupon that man who spoke on different subjects with thousands of meanings and who fought on thousands of battlefields and protected thousands of men stopped speaking, and being completely freed from all bondage, withdrew his mind from everything else and fixed his wide open eyes upon the original personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, who stood before him, four-handed, dressed in yellow garments that glittered and shined.
So Bhishma has withdrawn his mind from everything external and is focusing on Krishna. This is what we are supposed to do as we are dying. And last verse of this section, 31st verse. Vishuddhaya dharanaya hata shubha tadikshya vasu gatayudashrama Nivritta sarvendriya vritti vibrama Tushtavajanyam visrijan janardanam
By pure meditation, looking at Lord Shri Krishna, he at once was free from all material inauspiciousness and was relieved of all bodily pains caused by the arrow wounds. Thus, all the external activities of his senses at once stopped. He prayed transcendently to the controller of living beings while quitting his material body.
So when he was looking at Krishna, meditating on Krishna intensely, the pain of his body was relieved from that. And all the external activities stopped and was intensely focusing on Krishna. So when we are dying, it's going to be very painful, not just physically, even emotionally. Bhishma is teaching how he is able to withdraw from everything external and focus on Krishna. So this purport has 3 parts. So we'll read the purport and then focus on each of these sections. So you can read the whole purport and then I will share my thoughts.
The material body is a gift of the material energy, technically called illusion. Identification with the material body is due to forgetfulness of our eternal relationship with the Lord. For a pure devotee of the Lord like Bhishma, this illusion was at once removed as soon as the Lord arrived. Lord Krishna is like the sun, and the illusory external material energy is like darkness. In the presence of the sun, there is no possibility that darkness can stand. Therefore, just on the arrival of Lord Krishna, all material contamination was completely removed, and Bhishma was thus be able to transcendently situated by stopping the activities of the impure senses in collaboration with matter. The soul is originally pure, and so also the senses. By material contamination, the senses assume the role of imperfection and impurity. By revival of contact with the Supreme Pure, Lord Krishna, the senses again become freed from material contaminations. Bhishma attained all these transcendental conditions prior to his leaving the material body because of the Lord's presence. The Lord is the controller and benefactor of all living beings. That is the verdict of all Vedas. He is the supreme eternity and living entity amongst all the eternal living beings, and he alone provides all the necessities for all kinds of living beings. Thus, he provided all the facilities to fulfill the transcendental desires of his great devotee Bhishma, who prayed as follows.
So what is happening is, see, Bhishma, if we want to also completely focus on Krishna, then there is something that is coming in the way. The soul, what is coming between soul and Krishna? Material thing. What is the first, most important thing because of which the soul is not able to experience Krishna? This body. This body is the big hindrance right now. The subtle body, basically matter, as you rightly said. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada begins by saying this material energy is technically called illusion. And he's saying how we identify with this body, so we forget our relationship with Krishna. That is the main thing. Our identification with this body is so deep-rooted that we have no time, no energy for Krishna. So it's very interesting. Why do we call this body as illusion? I'm asking all of you. Why is this body called as illusion? Because it is temporary. There is something more sinister than that, something more serious than that, because of which this body is called illusion. One is, of course, it is temporary, that's why it is called illusion. But what is the main reason why it is called illusion?
Soul thinks I am the body.
Because you're attached to this body. The identification and attachment to the body is very, very deep rooted. See, our problem is we may find other bodies repulsive, other human bodies, when they are stinking. See, but our body, however stinking it is, we are comfortable in our own skin. That shows how much we are attached to this body, isn't it? Like we can stand for hours in front of a mirror, although nobody in the world may consider us as beautiful. That famous story of how in that housing society, the lift, the elevator was very slow. So the members of the society protested that a lift was slow here. इसका speed बढ़ाओ. Like we have the speed lift here. It is extremely slow. Right? Now speed lift. So the lift can be very slow. So they were very frustrated. So what did the company do? The elevator company. They realized that if they increase the speed, it's going to cost more money. So they did a simple thing. They put a life-size mirror inside the lift. No more complaints about the lift speed. That's how attached we are. So then naturally we cannot remember Krishna. And naturally when dying also we are not able to remember Krishna. This body has 9 holes and it's obnoxious. All smelling substances come from this body. But still we are able to tolerate this body. Still we find this body, although other human beings' body can be disgusting for us. When it is stinking or when somebody is not taken bath. But we, however we are dirty our bodies, we are still happy. So what happens? We have forgotten our relationship with Krishna. Then we get obsessed with these bodies. Not only with the body, but also then naturally obsessed with the expansions that come from this body. So we have to start practicing now. What? Connection to Krishna. Because when Krishna, whose body is Satchidananda, it is eternal, fully conscious, fully blissful. When you start remembering, meditating on Krishna's beautiful body, his features, practically speaking, it is being attached to Krishna's deity forms. I have one friend of mine in Borivali who says, young man, but you show him any photograph of any deity, he will immediately tell you the name of the deity. See, there are so many deities in ISKCON, so many temples. Dallas, Radha Kalachan, Dwarkadish, Los Angeles. So many temples in the world, Bhaktivinoda Manor, Radha Landaneshwar. Any deities you show, immediately will tell you the name of the deity. That is attachment to the eternal form of Krishna. There are devotees who know, when they see the Radha Gopinath, they immediately know who dressed Gopinath. I've spent 25 years in the ashram and I'm dressing the deities since 2002. Still I cannot understand who dressed Gopinath. वो पगड़ी का स्टाइल देख के वो ऐसा लगाते हैं, ब्रेसलेट का स्टाइल देख के, गार्लैंड देख के, हम immediately understand. मतलब इतना attachment to deities. There's one devotee, I ask him every day, he can tell me in detail the dressing of the deities, color, the shades. So the point is, the more we connect to a transcendental aspect of Krishna, then slowly we will be able to get detached from our attachment and obsession with this body, because of which we are not able to connect with Krishna. So Krishna not only helps us transcend our body, attachment to the body, but also the emotions that are attached to the body. There's a lot of emotions attached to this body. Like we are not only not these bodies, but we are also not the emotions that we attach to the body. That also we need to know. Like for example, we say car and the driver are different. This is a very common example we say. The body and the soul are different. I am not the body. So we say I am not the car. The driver is separate. But the thought, I am not the car or I am not the body. But also the thought that this car is mine. That thought is also not me. That has nothing to do with the soul. That is mind, intelligence, and ego in operation. Unfortunately, we only study this intellectually, that I am not the body, I am the soul. Okay, I am not the body. But our emotions attached to the body, that also is, I am not that. But this is very difficult for people to understand. I've seen because our intellectually, it's intellectually also difficult to understand what to speak of practically, because our thoughts are so much merged with the body that it is very, very difficult for most of us. See, we have to see our body as separate from us. But I'm also not the body, I'm also not the mind, I'm also not the. See, many places we preach that I'm not the body, I'm the soul. But that is not as attractive, I've seen, as when we preach, I am not the mind. People immediately get alarmed. Richa, I'm not the mind. Don't take your thoughts so seriously. And this experience is very, very important because many of us, we don't have experience of this. We generally, we are obsessed with our ideas about our relationships. So that's why Srila Prabhupada said, first become conscious, then become Krishna conscious. He told Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Because we are very unconscious. Only intellectually we know I'm not the body, I'm the soul. So we have to learn, consciously spend time and separate ourselves from this body and also separate ourselves from our emotions and thoughts about this body. Very, very important. See, I recently did a workshop on journaling in Govardhan Eco Village and I had this amazing experience. I give this 4-step journaling exercise on how we can overcome our suffering. So I was finding it amazing. Many people are staring at me blankly. They just couldn't understand the question. When I told them 4 steps. First step, think of one very big suffering that you've gone through in life and write about that suffering objectively, like a video camera is observing that suffering. Separate your emotions from that suffering and just write what you went through. People are finding it so difficult because Prabhuji, nahi ho sakta hai. It took me a long time. It took us half an hour to break that barrier. Then I had to teach them some other exercise. We had to do awareness journal and then come back to problem solving journal. Because, nahi Prabhuji, but how can I do that? You got the problem? You've gone through suffering. Okay, write about that suffering as your video camera is observing it. Nahi Prabhuji, but when we broke that barrier, somehow ho gaya. The second step was, okay, now that you have written about your suffering objectively like a video camera, now you write about the different stories that your mind tells you about that suffering. This also many people could not understand. What time laga ye do exercises? Because these 2 steps are very important to understand what suffering you have gone through and all the different imaginations, different stories that your mind conjures up because of this suffering, the way it horribilizes your situation. वो सब लिखो objectively. Don't separate yourself from your emotions. ना मुश्किल है. Those steps follow karne. And then the third was, okay, now that you know what is the suffering, you know what the mind has told you. Now you imagine all the suffering your friend has gone through. And you have to counsel your friend. It's because generally it is easy for us to counsel others. Same problem you also have, your friend also has. It is easy for us to counsel a friend. So then you try to do that. So that third step everybody did. And the last question was, okay, now answer how this suffering that you went through is the best thing that has happened to you in your life. Like there were 4 steps we did. So the point is, it's not easy because our emotions are so much attached to our body and our attachments. We are unable to separate ourselves from our body. Therefore, we are not able to get focused on Krishna. So this is one part of the purport. The second part of the purport, if you see, Srila Prabhupada writes very beautifully about Krishna is sun and Maya is darkness. So when Krishna appeared, all darkness went away, which means all ignorance went away, all suffering, pain went away. The soul is pure, but material contamination, because of which there is impurity. So when Krishna comes in the scene in front of Bhishma, everything went, all fatigue, exhaustion, suffering, sab kuch chala gaya. Only peace and happiness. So this is also very, very, this famous verse Prabhupada would quote, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hoye Andhkar, Jahan Krishna taha nahi, Maya adhikar. So where there is Krishna, there is no Maya. Just like when there is sun, there is no darkness. So if we see sun, then we don't experience darkness. Similarly, when we see Krishna, when we experience Krishna, then the mind's voice cannot be troubling us anymore. See, hearing Krishna's voice is the solution for all the suffering that is caused by the mind, intelligence, and ego. And hearing Krishna's voice basically simply means hearing the holy names of Krishna. Simple. Because Krishna, Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna, Rama, Hare. These three words. This is Krishna. So when we are attentively hearing the holy name as we are chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If I have heard the holy name, then we have heard Krishna. And then there is peace, happiness. Right now, what we are going through? Confusion. So many questions. Why so many questions we have? Because the mind, ego, intelligence is hyperactive. But when we are with Krishna, then there is no question. Because there is peace. I don't know if you have experienced when I am with my Guru Maharaj, or sometimes devotees would say this about Srila Prabhupada, or a very advanced pure devotee. You may have a lot of questions, but when you sit with that person's presence, who is completely absorbed in Krishna, then you have no questions. You just feel कुछ नहीं, क्या कहना है, क्या सुनना है, कुछ नहीं, कुछ ना कहो, कुछ नहीं बोलना है, बस आपके संग में बैठना है. All questions have dissolved because that person is carrying Krishna. In that person's presence, our mind, ego, intelligence, voices quietened because Krishna has become prominent. So imagine how it would be to be actually with Krishna. Similarly, if we hear the holy names and experience Krishna's voice, which means hearing the holy names, then all the analysis and all the confusions, the only question we'll have is, how can I serve? Some devotees you see when they see Guru, senior devotees, how can I serve? That question is coming from a space of, कुछ नहीं है, क्या है? सब, there is nothing important as much as serving. Even many preachers, initially they may be preaching, shouting, arguing, debating, but there is a time when they will, they are also like, they are satisfied. सामने वाला गाली भी देगा, आपको जो सोचना है सोचो, हम तो आनंद में हैं. So therefore the solution is to somehow hear Krishna's voice, connect with Krishna. And the last part of this purport is the last 2-3 sentences where Prabhupada says Krishna is the benefactor, Krishna is the controller, he provides all necessities. Krishna is providing right now for Bhishma. Bhishma's whole life he has served, so much seva he did, so much gali he took, so much of flack he got, so many controversies Bhishma was involved in, kya complications. Everything is now irrelevant. Because Krishna is the supreme controller. Krishna has appeared and he is saying, I am here. So when Krishna comes and Krishna is in control, all problems are solved and nobody can do anything when Krishna takes charge. Like, there is a man who was giving a class, Sabu, and he said, if you are very hungry and desperately want food, but if Krishna decides you cannot eat today, you will not get food. And if you have a lot of food, but if Krishna decides you cannot eat, then you cannot eat. But if Krishna wants you to eat and you say, I will not eat, then there is no way you cannot not eat. So the sadhu was giving class, so this one devotee said, very nice class, I agree with this. I agree that if I am very hungry and if Krishna doesn't want me to eat, I will not get food. But if I don't want to eat, then how can Krishna force me to eat? Nahi khana hai. So he said, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, sorry. Second part I don't agree. He said, okay, that is your choice. He said, no, I made a big challenge now. So he went to his ashram, he sat there, he said, no, but what if somebody comes and shows me prasad, I see prasad, my mind gets He took a vow, next 24 hours I will not eat. Let me see if Krishna can force me to eat. He said, no, here I may get tempted, my mind may cheat me, so let me go to the forest. So he went outside the ashram and forest, he was there. He said, now nobody can force me to eat. And then suddenly he saw one group of people coming there. And they came with big bags and they sat there, they opened. And he was watching from distance. And there was a lot of nice prasad, picnic. There are come for a picnic there. And he saw, I came running away from food. Here also they are coming with food. So immediately he went, Nahi. And then suddenly there was a roaring of the lion. And all these people ran away. They kept the food there and they ran away. And he climbed a tree. And he was in the tree. And he was looking at the food down. And after a long time, the roaring of the lion stopped. Everything became quiet. And those people had also run away. They said, no, let me get down and go away from here. As he was coming down, suddenly a gang of robbers came running there. They were running away from police. And they came. And then as soon as he saw this gang coming, again he climbed the tree. And he quietly said, if I let them go, then I will go down. But they stopped there. They said, ye kya khana hai idhar? Wow. He said, there's nobody and there's a nice feast here. Let us eat this and then continue our journey. And one of the gang robbers said, wait. What if somebody has mixed poison in this? That we eat this and die? Sir, somebody must be hiding nearby. And they looked around and they said, hey, सामने हम इधर बैठा है. इसी ने खाना रखा है हमको मारने के लिए. So then they said, उतर नीचे. He said, नहीं, मैंने नहीं रखा, आप खाओ, मेरा fasting है बोला. तेरी fasting क्या ऐसी के तैसे come down, पकड़ा उसको. They forced him to eat. And then he ate and they observed him for some time. नहीं मारा, ठीक है. Then they ate the whole feast. So what happened? So Krishna, you cannot cheat Krishna. You cannot challenge Krishna. Krishna is the supreme controller. So this is very, very powerful. Krishna says he takes care. So the essence of this purport, this section which we read, actually this entire 3 verses, the essence is Krishna takes care. If whole life you have done devotional service, you have gone through suffering, your family has given you trouble, there has been misunderstanding, relationships have gone bad, and financially you have landed in one trouble after another, despite your best intentions, you have been misunderstood. Whole life you have done only service. But Krishna takes care, like he took care of Bhishma. And our job is to allow Krishna to take care of us. Our problem is we have prevented Krishna to enter our lives. What we do, we hold on to our own mind, intelligence, ego. So we are not allowing Krishna to come. There is a saying, Buddhist people say, let go or be dragged. Very powerful 5 words. Let go or be dragged. So our attachments we are holding on, we have to let go. See how far we have gone from Krishna can be seen by the way we react when we get suffering in this world. Most of us, when we go through suffering, everybody has gone through suffering, all of us. So when we go through suffering, when we go through pain, when we go through feeling unloved, not understood, what do? Most people don't come to Krishna. They go back to the material world. In the sense, they seek, hope dies last. We hope against hope and try to squeeze happiness out of material world. When material energy kicks us, that means we're going through suffering. We go back to her. We go back to material world, material energy when we get suffering from material energy. This is the most common formula of living. Most people live in this paradigm. You are suffering by material energy, go back to material energy. This is actually, from a spiritual point of view, is crazy. In 1999 South India Yatra, we were with Adana Swami Maharaj. So 15-20 of us brahmacharis and Maharaj were walking towards some Nrsimhadev temple early in the morning. There was nobody else. Maharaj was chanting, we were chanting, and we were quietly walking. Completely quiet road. This was a 3.5 kilometers walk. And suddenly we saw an ass, donkey. and a she donkey ahead of us. So this male donkey was going close to the she ass for mating. And as he was very close, the she ass kicked him so hard on the face. And we were seeing it, we were like shaken. It was such a massive, ऐसा लात मारा उसने. And so the whole male donkey पूरा से हिल गया. And then we were looking at it, and then again he kept running back to that she ass. He came from the other side. Again she kicked him. The whole journey, Maharaj was saying, watch this carefully. He was telling all of them, watch this carefully. This is material energy. So what a graphic scene it was. So when we go through suffering, what we do? We go back to that material energy. This is crazy. This is the time we could come to Krishna. When we go through suffering, we are supposed to come to Krishna. But we go back to material. It's like, you are stuck in a quicksand, daldal. So when you fall in a quicksand and what happens when you start trying swimming very hard? In a quicksand, when you swim harder, you sink faster and deeper. So we are in a quicksand of suffering, and we are trying harder to get happiness, swimming harder, we are drowning faster. That is the time when we are supposed to stop swimming and struggling and raise our hands and tell Krishna, Krishna, I am yours. Krishna, please accept me. Unfortunately, most of us, we don't turn to Krishna, but we try to swim harder. And second category, this is one mistake we do. First mistake, common mistake is when we go through suffering, we don't come to Krishna, we go back to material. Some of us avoid this mistake. We come to Krishna, but then we do the second mistake. We will not do the first mistake. The second mistake is we come to Krishna, we also raise our arms and say, Krishna, please help me. But we do a very big mistake there also. Any guess what is the mistake we do even though we turn to Krishna? Yeah, we tell Krishna, please help me swim better. I want to swim better in this quicksand. ये बहुत बड़ा मिस्टेक हम लोग करते हैं. Of course, we know philosophically it is better to come to Krishna than to not come to Krishna. What is that verse from second canto? Akama sarva kamo va moksha kamo dharadi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. Come to Krishna, whether you have desires, no desires. But still, now that we are all identifying ourselves as devotees who come to Krishna, let us be honest. When we come to Krishna, are we coming to Krishna on Krishna's terms? Or are we telling Krishna, Krishna, please help me, I want to enjoy this material world. I'm going through suffering, but I'm asking Krishna to help me overcome my suffering of this material world. We are like that old woman, Srila Prabhupada's famous example. You know what is that example? Huh? Woodka. Yes, what is that example? She was carrying firewood and she was in a lot of pain. She prayed, God, help me, God, and God appeared. Yes, my dear old woman, what help you want? She said, please remove this log from my left shoulder and put it on the right. So that is what we are doing. We are asking Krishna to transfer our suffering and change, but we still want to be in this world. So maybe most of us, we are not doing the first mistake because we are the fact that we are in Radha Gopinath temple, we are in Krishna society, devotees. So we may not do the first mistake. That is of going to material world when we are suffering. We are coming to Krishna, but we may be doing the second mistake. Coming to Krishna, but asking to Krishna to help us live in this material world better. But we can't be happy in this material world, Baba, because Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, he has stamped it. Mumbai, you have grown up in Mumbai from childhood. This is a true story. One person, Mumbai, is grown up eating vada pav, is very famous. It's a Mumbai speciality, vada pav. There's a special vada pav, Bombay में मिलता है. जो flavor है उसका, जो चटनी है वो मूंगफली का चटनी and all that, मिर्ची, that's पक्का vada pav is a Mumbai brand. Vada pav, usal pav, misal pav and that dabeli. ये चार खा के बड़ा हुआ. And then he went to all places, उसको गांव में भेजा, उड़ीसा के गांव में भेजा. कुछ तो उसको preaching था, उसको कुछ तो सेवा था. होल विलेज was सर्चिंग, वड़ा पाव कहाँ मिलेगा, मिसल पाव कहाँ मिलेगा, मिसल पाव कहाँ मिलेगा, दाबेली कहीं पे भी नहीं मिला उसे. ढूंढ रहा है वड़ा पाव वड़ा पाव. एंड राइटिंग ब्रो, रोमा बॉम्बे आ जा, वो नहीं मिलेगा उधर. Similarly, vada pav here is compared to happiness. Material world is compared to that village in Orissa. उधर आपको राइस ही मिलेगा, राइस और मछली मिलेगा. So you want vada pav, come to Mumbai. You want real happiness, where you go? कृष्ण लोका. यहाँ पे नहीं मिलेगा आपको आपका वड़ा पाव मिसल, यहाँ पे मिलेगा बॉम्बे में, but the point is you won't get it in material world. And we are asking, Krishna, give me happiness here. We are asking for things which we are not destined to get. So this is a mistake many of us are doing. Indra, he was cursed by some providential circumstances to become a pig. He was a king of the heaven. And he was a pig, in the gutter, that piglets enjoying that stinking drainage. So Brahma, feeling compassion, went and told him, you are Indra. What are you doing here? Come back to heaven. And Indra said, no, look at my piglets. They are so cute. I want to be with them. I'm so happy in this pig life. That is why Gajendra is a hero in the Bhagavatam. Because when Gajendra was praying, Sonta Sara Surubale Nagrihi Ta Artha Drishtva Garutmati Harim Kaupata Chakram Utshipya Sambhujakaram Giramaha Krichran Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. With all his might, he pulled that lotus and he offered to Krishna. And he said, Krishna, I'm suffering because of this crocodile. But Gajendra did not ask for relief so that he can enjoy material life better. He said, I want your love. I want happiness of being with you. When we suffer, our prayer could be that Krishna, I want to be happy, but I want the happiness of serving you and not the happiness of a better job, better relationship, better material life. I'm tired of seeking happiness in this material world. Krishna, now I want to be happy in you. That is the prayer. But my mind tells me, no, I want this job because if I have this job, then I can serve Krishna better. Then okay, we can tell Krishna, this is what my mind tells me, but I know that you know better. So please let me serve you. Let me seek happiness in you. Let me seek happiness in your happiness. This is a fundamental shift of a devotee. See, this is how we become devotee. Till that time, we are a materialist, either grossly or in disguise. So, devotee versus materialist, this is the fundamental paradigm shift. A materialist, even if he comes to God, what does he seek? A better material life. He doesn't seek a better life necessarily. He seeks a better material life. A non-devotee seeks happiness in matter, even if he comes to God. So ask yourself, which of these two categories you are in? Which of these two mistakes you do? Seeking happiness in matter without Krishna, or seeking happiness in matter with Krishna, but basically seeking shelter of material energy only. But a devotee is he who seeks happiness in Krishna's love. Because he's tired of trying to squeeze happiness out of his material life. He wants to give up this game. He wants to change the strategy. बहुत हो गया यार. नहीं चाहिए. Because this material energy is extremely bewildering. Keshava Tuva Jagata Vichitra, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. There is this Purana story of this yogi who had so much mystic powers, he knew where he's going to go in next life. Because he had done a lot of sinful activities, but also he was a great yogi, had mystic powers, he realized that next life is becoming a pig. And he knew which colony, which gully, where he's going to be a pig. So he called his disciple and said, say, I'm dying. I'm going to become a pig there. So as soon as I become a pig and I look at you, you come there, come with an axe and kill me. I don't want that horrible life. He said, yes, Guruji, thank you. So the Guruji died. Yogi died. And the disciple went with his axe to that gully called. After some time, he's supposed to be born there. So the yogi took birth there as a pig. And the pig was looking up and the disciple was ready with the axe. And the pig said, no, don't kill me. And the disciple said, "Arey Guruji, you only told me." He said, "No, but that time I didn't know that this life is so good. Kitna acha hai ye life." This is how we see comfort in material life. So our scriptures say that our nice life and bad life in material world both are bad. Dvaita Badra Badra Gyan Saba Mano Dharma Yei Bhalo Yei Manda Yei Saba Brahma. The Chaitanya Charitamrita says we live in duality. Dvaita, Abhadra, Badra Gyan, all. What is good, what is bad is all mental concoction. Yei Bhalo, this is very good. Yei Manda, this is stupid. Saba Mano Brahma, this is all this crazy illusion of the mind. Radha Gopinath is a very graphic example. Sorry to shake your sensibilities. You're all very cultured people, but sometimes graphic example drives home the point better. So he gives the example of two pigs fighting over a lump of stool that was lying, human excreta that was lying on the street. So one pig was saying that look at the top part of the stool. Because of the sunlight falling on top of that stool, that the top layer has become very crispy and dry. So that is better. And the second pig was arguing, saying, no, the bottom part of that human excreta is juicy and succulent. That is better. Radha Gopinath Prabhu asks in his JOSD course, the audience, which of these two is better? How many of you please feel the first part is better, top part is better? Raise your hand. How many of you feel the second part is better? Both are disgusting, right? Both are horrible. None of them is good. Both are bad. So therefore, we can't say, okay, Krishna, this situation is better, that situation is bad. It is like top part of the stool, that is like the bottom part. Both are good, bad, both are bad, because to enjoy the good, we have to come again to this material world. We have to again go through suffering. So we want to go back to Krishna. But now there's a third mistake we do. Some of us say, ठीक है यार, ये तो इतना प्रभुजी ने क्लास में बोला, इतना प्रभुपाद बोलते हैं. So both are bad. He said, this material world is disgusting. I don't want anything to do with this material world. Let me go back to spiritual world. I want to go back to Krishna. Now here many of us fall in the trap of the third mistake. And we miss the bus. How? This is also a mistake. What is the mistake? Material world is horrible. Horrible. Krishna is so bad. I want to come to you. And nothing to do with the material world. Everything is bad. This is also a mistake. Because we can't go back to Krishna by being disgusted with this world. See, the first mistake we do is we don't come to Krishna and we seek material happiness. Listen to this carefully. The second mistake is we come to Krishna but we want material happiness. Third mistake is we come to Krishna but we come cursing material life. All the three methods are wrong. Because not coming to Krishna is wrong. Coming to Krishna but staying in material world is also, like Srila Prabhupada said, it is, that Prabhupada used to distribute that books. He was distributing Easy Journey to Other Planets in Delhi streets. And one man he said, oh, you read this book, you can go to other planets, spiritual world. Prabhupada was talking. This man said, very good, so I will go. But can I come back to Delhi after going there? So Prabhupada said, book there. Of course, Prabhupada didn't say that. Prabhupada gave him the book. But we want to go back to spiritual, we want to practice spiritual life, but we want to come back here. Like a vulture, vulture flies very high. और उसका नजर है वो rat के ऊपर है नीचे. He will come swooping down to enjoy that. So our life is like that. We are all in the second category. We are talking about big things. So, but we are focusing on the material world. Now, the third mistake some of us do is, in the name of intense spirituality, we focus on our disgust in this material world. You can't be disgusted because that disgust with material world is attachment in a different way. Maya is bad, Maya is bad, Maya is bad. Bad निकल जाता है, Maya रह जाता है. Because it's subconscious mind, patterns. See, you are feeding the manas. You are feeding the subconscious mind with matter only by being disgusted with material world. See, we can't push away material energy and go back to Krishna. We have to release material world with grace. Like, Hare Krishna, I release you. I want Krishna. उसमें उसमें grace लगता है, like that if you're at journey home, oh that lady, that Irish lady, Lauren, no, forget her name. So she meets Richard Slavin, who is a seeker, and then Maharaj writes in that journey home book, that section where that lady was very nice, and then she could have been a great companion, but Maharaj very graciously releases her because he chooses Krishna. We have to come to Krishna in the space of Tattenu Kampam. Krishna, this is what I'm getting, but I choose you. I'm grateful for what you have given. Not that I'm suffering, this is all horrible, I don't want this, I just want you. Yes, I want Krishna, but in that mood, now if we have this mode of disgust, then we will create bigger mess here. We'll incur a lot of bad karma here by our nasty behavior. Gratitude for what Krishna is giving me is Bhishma's mood in final moments, and this is what will help us go back to Krishna. Otherwise, we may not do the first two mistakes, but we'll be trapped by the third mistake, which is we'll keep cursing material world and remain in material world only. We need to be grateful for what you've got in this life. Disgust, anger, frustration won't take us to Krishna. Gratitude will take us to Krishna. So Bhishma had not made this mistake. Bhishma could have cursed, his entire life was suffering. He could have been the king, but because of his mother's, stepmother's politics, her father's politics, he couldn't be the king. So much problems he had. But he's not cursing his fate. He's not blaming Krishna. He has gratefully accepted Krishna's plan and now is ready to leave. Non-devotee, the mistake, when a non-devotee looks at past, how does a non-devotee look at his past? Regret. अरे मेरा लाइफ में ये सब हुआ, मेरी जिंदगी तो ऐसा हो गया. So when we are not Krishna conscious, we look at the past with regret. We look at the present with dissatisfaction. And because of all these two, we look at the future with insecurity, fear. But a sincere Krishna conscious person is he who looks at past with gratitude, looks at the present with acceptance. Abhi jo hai prarabdha, I accepted Krishna. And therefore he looks at future with surrender. Krishna, whatever your plan, I accept. So he's accepting Krishna's will for future. It is this mood that helps us access Krishna's will. That's how we are able to practice hearing Krishna's voice. This is Sattva Guna practice. Many of us, the mistake we do as sincere sadhakas is, I want to go back to Krishna in this life. I am on a journey back to Godhead. But my future desire to go back to Krishna is simply Rajoguna. It is so much passion, I am looking forward, I want to go back to Krishna. And then when we look back, material world, our past, like because we are giving up material world to go back, to Krishna. We want to go back to Krishna. Either we are in Rajoguna, intensity without sensitivity, therefore insanity, focused on future, or when we look back at our material life with pain, lamentation, Bekar, that's not suffering, that is Tamoguna. So, material life we look at in Tamoguna and future spiritual life we look in Rajoguna. We are tossed between Rajo and Tamo. Sattva is a platform where we look at life in this material world and all the past, all the nonsense as being Krishna's arrangement so that I could now choose Krishna. Therefore, I am grateful for everything that has happened to me till this point of time. Till this second, whatever has happened, I am grateful. This is Sattva Guna. This is how we get Krishna. See, the practical application of what I am speaking is simple. Pause in your life for some time, every day, or once in 2-3 days, and come back to Krishna and ask. And we can say like this. Since we came to Krishna last, whatever has happened, what did I do so far? All that Krishna I offer you for Krishna's pleasure. Like for example, what time you completed your 16 rounds today? Any volunteer? Anybody completed at 1:30? 2 o'clock? Anybody completed before 12 in the afternoon? You completed at what time? So 7:30 you completed 16 rounds. Okay. So now Anuradha Mataji completed her 16 rounds in the morning 7:30. So I'm assuming, don't have to tell me yes or no. Generally, when we complete our 16 rounds, we say, Kai Navacha Manasindra, Krishna, I offer this to you. Krishna, thank you. You allowed me to chant 16 rounds. I offer this to you. So Mataji will assume that she has offered her 16 rounds japa to Krishna for Krishna's pleasure. So after 7:30, now it is 8:30. 13 hours have passed. So let's say 1 hour later you are at home alone. So now you can again come to Krishna and say, Krishna, since I came to you last, which was 14 hours ago, so many things have happened. What has happened? I don't know. You know better. I was with children doing the seva or doing that, went to temple. All these things I did, Krishna, I offer this for your pleasure. 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Since last 14 hours, these are the following activities I did. I offer them to you. I'm grateful for this phone call I got. I'm grateful for this gift I got. So the point I'm saying is, time to time, we need to pause and go back to the past and offer that to Krishna. That is practicing Tattenu Kampam, 10th canto, 14th chapter verse, which is a famous verse Prabhupada would quote. That is a practical application. We generally don't look back because we want to go back to Krishna. We are so focused on going to Krishna, we look back only to feel anger and frustration and regret and all tamasic thoughts only. But if we look at past with a desire to offer Krishna and in a space of gratitude, then we will get guidance from Krishna to go ahead better. I'll repeat. If we go back with gratitude, then we can go ahead better. I don't know if this is making sense. See, I've learned this lesson that don't think of rushing ahead in life without first reflecting back and seeing how Krishna took care so far. Today, Krishna did so much for me. Krishna, आपने ये भी किया 10 बजे, 11 बजे ये किया, अच्छा 2 बजे ये किया. Thank you, Krishna. You're looking back. That gratitude will help us go ahead today, tonight, tomorrow better. See, when we look forward now in life, generally, we are only looking at gaps. I have to earn so much money, I have to get a better house, my children's education, my children's marriage, my this, my savings. We have to go. See, even when we want to go to Krishna, we are seeing gaps. I have to become pure devotee, I have to overcome so many anarthas. But as devotees, when we look back, we can see with gratitude how Krishna orchestrated so many beautiful things in my life. So that means when we look back as devotees, we can see gain. Because when we look forward, we only see gaps. So when we see gains, we see how Krishna has helped me cover so much distance for so many years or so long. Wow, Krishna, ye bhi aapne gain diya, ye bhi gain diya. So Krishna has the gains we see so much that this helps us recognize Krishna is loving me, Krishna is caring for me. And then this gives me confidence to depend on Krishna as I go ahead. And this dependence on Krishna is surrender. Therefore, I am convinced that we can meet Krishna more in our past than in some distant future which is so abstract. Golok Vrindavan, अरे किधर है बाबा? बहुत दूर है. कृष्णा उधर मिलेंगे नहीं मिलेंगे पता नहीं, पर पीछे देखो कृष्ण मिलेंगे आपको हर मोड़ पे, हर चीज में जो आपके लाइफ में हुआ है. So we can meet Krishna in our suffering of this material world more than the promises of the spiritual world. Of course, these promises are real. Our Vaishnava Acharyas are not lying or cheating us, definitely. But because we have gone through suffering, we have some tangible experience of this material world. And that is where we can meet Krishna. We can see that as a beautiful plan of Krishna. So the point is we can therefore meet Krishna yesterday more than we can meet him today or tomorrow. Many preachers say live in the present. I myself taught this mindful living, be in the present. That is good. Living in the past is bad. Living in the future is bad. Living in the present is very good. But living in the past with gratitude is best. And there is every reason to be grateful for the past. Because when we do that, then we can see the present with a different vision. The motivational speakers, I don't know if you have seen them, there are many on YouTube. They will give us a bright future. They will always teach us about how to live in the future, how to make goals. You've seen those amazing videos of वो दिल्ली के कौन है? और my God, विवेक बिंद्रा जी का तो एकदम जबरदस्त है. Goal setting, ambitions, how to achieve your ambitions, amazing. So motivational speakers, they help us live in the future. And there are these Buddhist meditation teachers, many of them, Eckhart Tolle is one of the most famous, how to live in the present. Nothing exists except present. Being mindful. But Bhakti Yoga teachers, genuine Bhakti Yoga teachers, Bhakti Yoga teachers, they will focus on the past, but with gratitude. That helps us live in the present mindfully because we are very conscious of Krishna. Because our present is going to be past tomorrow. And also our future we are able to place in Krishna's hands. We always say surrender to Krishna. बोलना बहुत आसान है. I place my life in Krishna. I surrender to Krishna. But the practical application of surrendering to Krishna's will begins with past. So this is a counter-intuitive strategy. You know what is intuition? Intuition मतलब logically this makes sense. Counter-intuition मतलब जो logically sense नहीं करता है but वो सही है. It's called counter-intuitive. See, generally people say if you want a good future, what you should do? Plan for future. You know, like our Anand Rose says, अच्छा बैक टू गॉड जाना है तो अभी दो साल में लोन खत्म करना है फिर ये करना है वानप्रस्थ लेना है फिर दैट इज वेरी गुड सो द इंट्यूटिव लॉजिकल थिंकिंग इज यू वांट अ गुड फ्यूचर प्लान फॉर फ्यूचर मेक डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस ऑल दैट आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग दैट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग ट्राई दिस काउंटर इंट्यूटिव स्ट्रेटजी यू वांट अ ग्रेट फ्यूचर राइट स्पिरिचुअल फ्यूचर गो टू पास्ट and be in the thankful space from childhood be thankful for everything. That will help us be more present now. And the future will seamlessly get placed in Krishna's hands. So next time when we go to Krishna with demands, अब सबका डिमांड है ना अंदर कागज रेडी है सबका हमारी मांगे पूरी करो 1 2 3 4 सब है so I'm saying okay before you take out that chit first pause and connect to the past and offer all that past to Krishna and whatever time you have spent whatever energy make that offering to Krishna then come back to Krishna see when we come back to Krishna in the past we ensure that our present and future is also in Krishna's hands. See, ultimately what we want to be with Krishna always. But if you want to be with Krishna always, then the starting point is the past. Past is beautiful because in hindsight, when we go back, we can see Krishna better in the past because that is what we have experienced. Present and future is clouded with bhayam. Ahara nidra, bhaya जो है ना प्रेजेंट और फ्यूचर इनसिक्योरिटी में भरा हुआ मुर्गी को देखा कितना भय में रहता है कैसे दाना खाता है मुर्गी कहीं बिल्ली आएगा मारेगा वी आर आल्सो लिविंग इन फियर हाउ वी रन हाउ वी गो टू ऑफिस रन वर्क वी आर लिविंग इन फियर इन द प्रेजेंट एंड फ्यूचर ऑलवेज लिविंग इन फियर therefore the more we go to past more we can reflect back thank Krishna and the more we thank Krishna more we connect. More we connect with Krishna means more we are conversing with Krishna. More we are conversing with Krishna means the more Krishna is inspired to also to talk to us. And more Krishna is inspired means Krishna will tell us many things. We can hear Krishna. But our problem is the mind is talking so loud with complaints, regrets. As soon as I get up in the morning, so many times I've caught my mind complaining. अरे लेट हो गया, मंगलवार में लेट हो गया, ये नहीं किया और अरे रुक बाबा इतना सब कुछ मिला yesterday. Yesterday we got so much. Sometimes just I get up. The default setting is, "अरे ये नहीं हुआ, अभी ये बाकी है, वो बाकी, अरे रुको यार." But then what I do, I have this one journal. I just write down all the good experiences I had in the last 24 hours. So I one of these days I remember as soon as I woke up, mind is grumbling. कल एक्स्ट्रा खाना खा लिया, इसलिए लेट उठा. उससे तुम बहुत बकबक किया कल मीटिंग में जाना नहीं जीता. You are talking to me, criticize that person. Mind is only telling us the bad experience of yesterday. So I said, shut up, chup. I took out the paper. Kal kya kya hua? What are the good things that happened? I wrote 18 things came. 18 gifts I got. 18 gains I had. It's a big deal, yeah? 18 amazing things I had yesterday. which includes Shaligram worship, went to Chowpatty beach for a walk, memorized 6 shlokas of Bhagavatam, then spent time with Shamanand Prabhu and Radha Gopinath Prabhu very intimately, spoke to them for a long time. इतना सारा गिफ्ट्स मिला, heard Guru Maharaj's class for 1 hour. मैं ऐसा लिखा, then I gave love to 3 brahmacharis, I gave them Mahaprasad. ऐसा then evening को class था, then I met some children. I wrote, बाप रे इतना सब कुछ हो गया. But look at the mind's nature, grumbling. So because of this mind's voice, we are not able to hear Krishna. So we need to go to the past and focus on gratitude. Then we will be able to connect with Krishna. It's like, sometimes you're in Kirtan, a hall mein Kirtan chal raha hai. The Kirtan is so loud and your friend wants to say something very important and you can't hear. So what do you do? If you can't hear what your friend is saying in the hall, Kirtan is very loud, then what will you do? You will go out, right? You will come outside and tell him, "Acha, abhi batao, kya bol rahe the?" Right? So when the mind इतना लाउड चल रहा है, कीर्तन को सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है, कृष्णा जो बोलना चाहते हैं कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है. So come outside, means outside the hall. For me, outside the hall space is chanting, journaling. Pen and paper is for me outside the hall. So then when you come outside, you hear what Krishna wants to say. And not only that, you also hear what the mind is saying. Actually, now, many of us, we don't even hear what the mind is saying. We simply are following what the mind is saying. हमको पता, we don't have awareness. We are simply a puppet. We are simply dancing to the mind's tune. But when we come outside the hall to meet Krishna, we realize, oh my God, inside the hall, I was not dancing to Hare Krishna Kirtan, I was dancing to the mind's Bollywood songs. मैं नाच रहा था पर वो कीर्तन में नहीं नाच रहा था मैं. So mind has trapped us. वो कीर्तन नहीं था, वो कुछ और था. Mind का नाच था. So therefore we need awareness, we need consciousness. When you realize that I'm not dancing to Krishna's tune, but I'm a puppet in the hands of the mind, the stupid mind, then we look at Krishna with shock. Krishna, what an amazing... awareness is a space where when we turn to Krishna in that awareness of what we've been doing, we just see Krishna smiling. Krishna is a killer smile. Krishna is always quiet. Krishna is not going to be saying, "Maine to bola tha." Krishna is always that Surda Sarva Bhutanam. He is Prashant Atma. So when we realize what a blunder I was in, I was a victim in the hands of the mind, and that shock, in that lamentation, we feel ashamed when we look at Krishna. Hey, my God, what a shameful life I was leading. Totally unaware. But in that shame and shock, there is also happiness. Because you have turned to Krishna. Awareness is wonderful experience. You feel miserable, but ironically, you are also very happy. How can you be happy when you are miserable? With Krishna, that is why you are happy. You are miserable because you realize how much you are trapped by mind, but you are not simply in the mind space. You are in a space of awareness. You are with Krishna. Therefore, psychologists don't get it. They think Hare Krishna people are depressed. When they say, I'm a worm in the stool, I'm fallen, I'm bad, they think Hare Krishna depression. So the key is come out of the hall. Come out of that space where the mind is trapped you. Whatever ritualistic life we are leading, take a break, get out of the routine. Whatever helps you connect, enter that space. Whether it is journaling, whether it is chanting, deity worship, whatever helps you be in awareness. See, let us not argue what is best. Some people say chanting is the best way to connect to Krishna. Some people say no, deity worship is best. Some people say Bhagavatam. I'm taking one step back. I'm saying, अरे वो छोड़ो, आपको कहाँ connect कर पाते हो? Where do you connect with Krishna? It is like lovers arguing, What is the best place for lovers to meet? Canteen, shopping mall, library, Chowpatty beach. अरे वो सब छोड़ो. But where do you connect with each other best? That is more important than which place is. No point arguing, So go one step back, hearing, chanting, important है, but where can we connect to Krishna better? And then Krishna takes care. And then we look at past with gratitude, then we'll always be happy. At least our present and future is secure. Hare Krishna. I'll pause here. So, Bhishma is in a state of complete grace. He has made peace with himself. He's at a very, very intense fast, but he is not blaming Krishna. He is ready to receive Krishna's embrace and go back to the spiritual world. And now we will chant next week onwards this 11, 12 beautiful prayers that he offers as he is leaving this world. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions? Yes, Shubham.
Slowly, I wanted to, how did your journaling journey started? Like, how did you get inspired to write journals and when did you start all this?
Yeah, when I in 2007, I used to write every day from teenage years. I recently found my notebook of the year 1999 journal. I found it recently when cleaning my room. So I used to write on and off, but from 2007, every day I started writing. Because 2007, I went through an intense phase of loneliness. I was already 9 years in the ashram. I began to feel very lonely. I began to see faults in some of my seniors. And it was complete opposite of what I had anticipated when I joined the ashram. So that time I needed companionship. Then I went back to what was giving me shelter during my pre-Krishna conscious days, which was journal. But now it was more beautiful because now there was Krishna to meet in the pages of journal. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, I was meeting a formless, impersonal energy in that journal. I didn't know whom I was talking to, whom I was connecting with. But now it became more beautiful. सुकून मिलता है दो लफ्ज कागज पर उतार कर. सुकून मिलता है दो लफ्ज कागज पर उतार कर. जोर से चीख भी लेता हूं और आवाज भी नहीं होती. So like last night, for example, yesterday, Monday morning, I woke up at 12:30 midnight. So from 12:30 to 4, I wrote my journal. How many hours it is? 3.5 hours I wrote. Then I went for Shaligram worship and whole day I was busy. Evening was class. Of course, in the afternoon I took rest for 1 hour, but so those 3.5 hours was my quality time journaling. So the journey began to be specific from 2007, 17 years. So last 17 years I'm writing every day. Sorry?
Copy मिलेगा?
Copy. कुछ समझेगा ही नहीं ना. वो हैंडराइटिंग इतना गंदा है. कुछ नहीं. Yes.
Go through those earlier notes.
Yeah, my latest book which I wrote, which got published recently by Penguin, it's called The Inner Journey. That book is a result of my 3 years of journaling. 2020, 21 and 22 का जो journaling है 3 साल का, उसमें से सब निकाल के 225 pages का जो book है, that is a result of those 3 years of everyday journaling. So 2023, 2024 next year का जो journaling है वो सबको मिला के एक next book आएगा.
Copy मिल गया.
Sorry,
Copy मिल गया.
कौन सा copy?
आपका.
The Inner Journey.
The one he was asking for.
हाँ, so मिल गया. हाँ, question, आपके question का answer. Yeah, see, generally people write books because they want to share something with the world. I write not to share with the world. I write to discover. I write to find out what is there inside. I don't know अंदर क्या है. When I write, I realize ये अंदर ये था मेरे अंदर. अच्छा, very good. It's like mining, and also it helps me use my brain for a better purpose. See, our brain is meant for solving problems. Right now, our brain is only storing problems. So when I write, I release the stored up problem जो यहाँ पे stored है, उसको निकाल के मैं पेपर में डाल रहा हूँ ना, तो ये brain space खाली हो गया. So this space is now used for solving problems. So it is storing problems or solving problems. तो ये इधर से निकाल के कागज में डाल देने, तो खाली हो गया तो फिर दुनिया का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर सकते. तो ऐसा है. I know it takes time, but we are anyway wasting time on WhatsApp and Insta, social media, cricket, क्या movies. Anyway, people are wasting time. So थोड़ा इसमें time बताओ, and you will not feel it's a waste. Because actually, I have not brought that book. I've got something called a scriptural journal, which is actually the ideal way of journaling. उसमें no. I'm talking about scriptural journal. There is one type of journaling. Next week I can get it, where I hear a lecture and then I write my own reflections on that. 1 page, 2 pages. That is scriptures churned. It's like butter. So if you can do that kind of journaling, that is best. Hare Krishna.
One day, in the past, how to offer it to Krishna, when you are since morning, if you are kept by Maya, and you are going home and also your family members are keeping you. So how to offer this past?
No, I'm not saying offer the past to Krishna means offer everything to Krishna. I'm saying go back and thank Krishna for whatever gifts you got. We may not be able to thank Krishna for everything, but we can thank Krishna at every moment. See, you may not thank Krishna for the suffering you got from the past, but you can thank Krishna for the enjoyment you got from the past. Because your past has not given only suffering. Past has also given you some enjoyment. Past has given you some. See, the past has been good because at least, right, the fact that you're sitting right now here and willing to turn to Krishna means आपका past इतना बुरा नहीं था. कम से कम यहाँ तक तो आ गए. So that means whatever has happened for a reason. Whatever has happened so that you can come right now, sit here and hear that I have to surrender to Krishna. So you can maybe not offer it in the sense Krishna will, sorry, whatever you have done, you can offer to Krishna. But whatever has happened to you, you can accept it as Krishna's blessing. If you can't accept everything, at least accept what is palatable. Sometimes people say, Prabhuji, how can I thank Krishna for the abuse I've gone through? I say, forget abuse. You thank Krishna for the love you got. Thank Krishna for what is good. We always worry about the difficult questions. You start thanking Krishna for the good thing and then Krishna will help you thank for the bad things also. We immediately want to know how to thank Krishna for all the suffering I have gone through. Don't thank Krishna for the suffering. Thank Krishna for all the good things you have gone through. And then Krishna will give you the intelligence how to thank him for the suffering you have gone through.
Like you say that 18 things are positive.
Yeah. तो कुछ तो अच्छा हुआ रहेगा 24 घंटे में. उसके लिए थैंक यू बोलो. चलो 18 नहीं तो कम से कम 2 चीज तो अच्छा हो उसकी. Begin somewhere. So then when we thank Krishna for, see, there are something in our control, something not in our control. We always look at things which are not in our control. Focus on your business. Don't worry about Krishna's business. How we always want to achieve the impossible. We can't be like Haridas Thakur. I can't thank Krishna for the suffering I've gone through. I find it difficult. But at least I can thank Krishna for the good things. Right?
In the beginning, you said about Kayana Vacha Manasa that we offer. But when I try to offer something, there's a voice inside which says, "ये तो अपने लिए किया." You have done this all for your things, your work and everything. So to experience this, that this is for Krishna, and how to curb that voice, or like what to do with that voice, right? It's coming. ये तो अपने लिए किया.
अपने लिए किया ना, so that I can serve Krishna better. I'm happy, then I'm happy. I can serve Krishna better. प्रसाद खाने के बाद दूसरों को सर्विंग कर सकते हैं ना. Krishna, thank you. You gave me this happy experience. Thank you. Ultimately, we are not impersonalists. A child will go to the parent only. We are children. We are not pure devotees. All of us are making this mistake of trying to be what we are not. Let us begin with honesty. You have some desires. Go to Krishna for those desires. Accept your authentic self. ठीक है, I had this material desire. I went to Krishna. Krishna fulfilled. Thank you, Krishna. And then you can end by saying, Krishna, this is not the ideal. Please give me the intelligence to want to offer something for your pleasure. Let us thank Krishna for giving us what we wanted. Then we will be able to thank Krishna for even getting what we didn't want, let us offer Krishna what we wanted or what we wanted to do. Then we will to offer Krishna what he wants. See, ultimately, we can't offer Krishna what we don't have. If you're a writer, you can only offer what you write to Krishna. If you're a cook, you can offer what you cook for Krishna. If you're a writer, you can't cook and offer to Krishna. Ultimately, हम सबको भगवान को unique. We're all unique. Each one of us is unique, and we all can offer something Krishna very personally. Yes, I'm writing for my own pleasure, but I can't do any better. This is who I am. Krishna, please accept. Madhumangal, Sridhama, Lalita Sakhi, Radharani, everybody is associate of Krishna, and everybody is uniquely serving Krishna. The cows, the deer are serving Krishna in Vrindavan. How are they making Krishna happy? Simply they come in front of Krishna and they keep looking at Krishna. Krishna is so happy just by he looks at the eyes of the deer and he is very happy. They are offering with their eyes, just that look. The peacocks are dancing for Krishna. How the trees offer Krishna, they just bend in honor of Krishna and Balaram. So we offer, some of the video editing, Krishna, this is what I'm offering you. You might think, but Krishna को क्या मिलेगा इससे? Krishna को कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा हम में से. We can't give anything to Krishna. Krishna doesn't need anything from us. ये गंगा का पानी गंगा को ऑफर करने जैसे. What does Krishna want from us? Nothing. But still we are offering because we want to come closer to Krishna. Is that okay? Yes, we'll stop here or let's end with this.
Thought came to my mind. Don't let yesterday's worries or tomorrow's troubles cloud the swelling beauty of today.
Do not let the yesterday's worries or tomorrow's troubles
cloud the swelling beauty of today.
Cloud the swelling beauty of today.
Today well lived.
Today well lived.
Makes every yesterday a dream of happiness.
Makes every yesterday a dream of happiness.
And every tomorrow a vision of hope.
Every tomorrow a vision of beautiful. 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 Yesterday, past is mystery. Past is history. Future is mystery. Now is a gift of God. That's why it is called present. Something. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.